Hello, hello, everyone. How are we doing tonight? It is Sunday, February 16th. My name is Kristen Adams. I am your Ruby Upline VP of Sales. And tonight, we're going to talk about one of my favorite topics, which is nonverbal communication. So many of you guys know that my background, I'm a nurse practitioner. And when we were going through nursing school, during our psych rotation, we were taught that 7% of communication is actually the words that are coming out of your mouth. And 93% of your communication is nonverbal. You can tell that if somebody's being threatening, you can tell if somebody's being open, you can tell if someone's trying to build rapport, if they're nervous, if they're scared, if they're excited, just by the way that they're communicating with you, even if they're saying the same word of hello, right? We can tell all of these different things. And so one of the things that is really, I feel like not trained very much in network marketing is the nonverbal communication. Many of us use social media and use texting or emails as a way to communicate, and there can't be very much nonverbal communication there. So this whole conversation that we're going to be doing today is going to be focused strictly on ways to utilize tools such as voice messenger, Zooms, things like that, and how to change the way that you communicate in order to create certainty with your sales. So there are two things that play along when you're trying to sell someone either on the product or the opportunity, right? There's logic, certainty. So if you're sharing with somebody about a product that makes sense, so before this call started, we were talking about our Q twist. We can talk about how it's water soluble hemp. We can talk about the amazing flavor. It doesn't have any artificial sweeteners or colors, and it's only preserved with colloidal silver. It makes sense that this is a great option, right? That's logical certainty. You're looking for hemp, this is a great choice. But emotional certainty, they might be thinking, yeah, but, and come up with an objection because they're not emotionally certain that they need this product more than they need the money in their wallet, right? And we know that if you can emotionally help somebody make a choice to purchase Q Twist, that you'll have a much better opportunity to either sell them on the product or sell them on the business. And so we all know that number one, network marketing is ultimately sales. We're looking for like-minded people who want to change lives with our business opportunity, and we're looking to help people get products in their hands that are going to be life-changing for them. So today we're going to be talking about different ways to increase the level of certainty in your clients or in your potentials or in your Class A prospects by increasing the way that you communicate. So my number one challenge for you all is to stop texting. Anybody who communicates with me knows that unless there's a screaming child in the background, and sometimes even if there is a screaming child in the background, I will communicate verbally through a voice messenger. If you utilize the voice messenger, that's amazing. If you're not utilizing it, you need to start. You can practice with yourself. You can open up a text message to maybe your spouse or to your mother or even to yourself and send yourself voice messages. Now, I don't just want you to send voice messages that are monotone, and this is the Q Twist. It has 10 servings and 40 milligrams of full spectrum hemp oil, which is our total bioabsorbed full spectrum hemp oil. Total in the bottle is 400 milligrams. Is that going to sell anybody? No, you can't even sell yourself that, right? I mean, that's just reading it off the back. And somebody's going to be able to tell if you're reading it off the back. How many people went to convention? How many people love the fact that barely any of the speakers use notes? Even though my speech was nothing like I wrote out, I'm not going to use notes because I will read my notes and then you all would be bored. So we want to make sure that as we're doing this, we're using the tonality or how we enunciate, how we project our voice and our emotions and our spirit into that conversation to be able to build that emotional certainty with our potential. So practice that, okay, guys? One of the things that I love, and I think that this comes from Tony Robbins, but I'll give Taryn Sarconi credit because she shared it with me. Before she gets on a big call with somebody, she will literally jump up and down. She will literally shake her hands, smile as big as she possibly can, stare at the ceiling or a bright light, and get herself hyped up. Sometimes she'll play her hype music, whatever it takes to raise her energy level. So you can transfer your good energy onto somebody else. You never want to take a call if you were having like the worst day, your dog died, your truck broke down, you had to walk uphill in the snow both ways, blah, blah, blah. We've all heard that story, right? Probably our parents told us that story. And you're just in a foul mood. That is not the time to schedule a call. If you're in that mood and you can't get out of it, honestly, I know it sounds bad, but whether it's a phone call or a Zoom call, they're gonna know. You're gonna transfer that negative energy right to them. So I want you to reschedule it if you can't get yourself out of this funk. But let's say you get on this call and you were so excited to talk to this person, then what? You don't want to just cue vomit all over them, right? So I'm gonna kind of give you guys some tips of the trade. These are literally just skills that you can improve, because we all know that there are people out there who easily build rapport, who easily build friends, right? They're the kind of people that always have someone to talk to because they're interesting, right? And that's what I want to teach you guys, is this is a skill set to be able to be that person. I'm still developing, still learning how to be that really like that person that people want to seek out to communicate with, because as you get better at that and you become a better friend collector, you'll be able to grow your network marketing industry business even faster. Okay, so let's talk about it. So the first one is questions. Okay, this sounds really simple, right? But you're going to be using the ability to ask a question with a statement. So what does this do? When you're doing this, you only want to do it 2 or 3 times max, and you want to make sure that it's short, simple sentences. And the purpose of this, you have to understand the purpose of doing this. And my husband says I do it all the time, so it's obviously something that I've just done probably since I was a child, is the purpose is to get the listener to say yes in their head multiple times. Yes, yes, yes. So I'm going to ask you 3 questions, okay? And I want you to think about what you hear in your head when I ask you these 3 questions. Hello, my name is Kristen Adams. I live in West Des Moines, Iowa, and I have 4 children. Those were technically questions. Did you hear how I went up at the end? Did you agree? Did you hear in your head yes? Or uh-huh, 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 right? Because you're agreeing with me. At that moment, if I use those little tiny questions, that of course there's no reason for them to doubt that. Why would I say I live in West Des Moines, Iowa? Who else would want to live here, you know? But when you say those kind of things, and why would I not say my real name? What you're getting is you're getting that person to agree immediately as you're saying this. It's something that as you do it the first time, it's going to sound really weird and uncomfortable. But as you keep doing it, you're going to feel more and more comfortable doing this. So I like to use this questioning type nonverbal communication right when I get put into a 3-way chat. So someone puts me into a 3-way chat and they edify me and they talk about, my name's Kristen. I'm a wife and a mama of 4 girls. I'm a nurse practitioner. I live in Central Iowa, and I'm number 5 in the company for income earning, right? I can repeat that back to them. They already know that that's true because their friend who is introducing them to me, a stranger, told them that those things are true. So if I say that back to them with a question, they're going to say yes, yes, yes. And what did I just do? I already set the nonverbal communication in their head to agree with me. Really easy, really simple, right? So we'll, when we're done with this, if anybody wants to practice, we'll let some people practice each one of these. Okay, so the next tonality that you can use when you're having a conversation with somebody is the tone of scarcity. So this would be like the ability to create urgency and create a perception that it is a secret. Okay, so I want you guys to think about when we were talking about these coming out at convention. And a lot of people were putting together VIP lists, right? Now we know we could have 100, we could have 1,000,000 people on a VIP list, but a VIP list sounds exclusive and it sounds intriguing, right? Oh, there's a new product coming out and I have a VIP list. Do you want me to put your name on it? That sounds really like scarce, doesn't it? Kind of sounds interesting. Yeah, I want to know. Again, what are you getting that person to say? You're getting them to say yes, right? It's all about perception and reality. Let's talk about certainty. Okay, so I know with absolute certainty that there are 91 people on this call right now. Do I sound incredibly certain? Did you think in your head there probably is without having to check? Yeah, everybody that I can see is nodding that has their camera on. So when you can create absolute certainty, when you're talking about something that is absolutely certain, you go to a place in your mind that you know that there's no denying this. And what you're doing is you are creating trust with that individual. And again, you can use all of these tonalities in your presentations, in your 3-way message, when you're conversating with somebody, But if you were to type out those things, if you were to say, my name's Kristen Adams with a question mark, it would look absolutely ridiculous, right? You can't type these things out. These are things that you have to put into your verbal communication. Well, let's talk about absolute certainty. You're going to want to talk in quick, like staccato-like beats. You're thinking upbeat, and in your mind, when you say it, you have to know with absolute certainty that it's true. It will come out that way, right? And then the last one is that I'm going to talk about real quick is the I care, or the genuine caring type of tone. This is smooth, this is silky, this is something that you guys really want to master. And you kind of use this when you're telling your kids, well, of course I love you, honey, right? Of course I love you. It's smooth, it's different than the absolute certainty, it's different than the questioning. And then the last one we're going to kind of talk about in this little paragraph thing here is the reasonable man tone, which is the I'm reasonable, you're reasonable. This makes total sense, doesn't it? So I want you guys to think about it this way. When you're using these different tones, and you may have to go back and listen to these a few times. Like I said, I'm not perfect at them, but I'm working on implementing them myself. You're going to say something to the effect of, you're going to use these kind of at the end of your presentation when you're closing, because remember, we're talking about closing on this call. So if I was going to say something like, there's no better time than now to get started with a hemp business today, right? The only thing that you're going to regret is that you didn't get signed up 6 months ago. Am I right? Now, did you hear I put 3 of those things together? I spoke with absolute certainty, right? There's no better time than now to get started on a hemp business. Then I went to sincerity, I care. The only thing that you're going to be mad about me is that I didn't ask you to do this 6 months ago. Am I right? Which is, I'm reasonable, you're reasonable. Let's get you started today. They're going to end that with, yeah, she is right. Like, this girl went Ruby in 5 months. I should have joined her 5 months ago. Those are the kind of things that you're going to create conversations in people's minds that are going along with the certainty that you have in what you're selling, in what you're offering. And you have to have the mindset behind it. If you 100% believe that Q Sciences is an amazing opportunity, somebody can come in here and get to executive in their first full 30 days and get their products for free. The products are going to bless their business, or their products are going to bless their family. The business is going to bless their wallet. Then you should absolutely be mastering these types of tones as you're communicating with somebody, right? Okay, so let's kind of talk about that last one just a little bit more with the absolute certainty. I want everybody to know that absolute certainty doesn't have to necessarily be your closing sentence of your presentation. You can also use it when you're doing a three-way conversation about buying the Q twist. So you can say something like, this Q twist tastes absolutely delicious, right? You won't regret getting it because it does have a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what's holding you back? Lots of different ways that you can utilize these tones that can help you close the sale. My personal favorite way to do it is to close the sale of a business professional with the way that I told you before. With absolute certainty, this is the best time to join a hemp business. The only thing you're going to regret is not joining me sooner. Am I right? Or are you ready? Or what's holding you back? A real quick lift at the end of that conversation that makes them go, nothing. And then they join. So this was a real quick kind of training on 3 different tones that you're going to use at closing. And then one little tone that you guys can use, the questioning tone, to get them in the mindset of saying yes, yes, yes. And let's talk about one more. I actually have a list of like 8 of them over here, but I also see everybody writing, and I want to give some people an opportunity to get to practice this and give it a try on our call. So let's talk about the I really want to know tonality. So this would be the tone that really builds rapport. So a lot of times when people get into a three-way message, their friend, so I see Bob and I see Lorena on my screen. So let's say Bob is the ambassador and Lorena is the potential. So Bob's going to bring them into a conversation, and he's going to open it up with introducing me, Kristen Adams, with the things that we talked about before. And he's going to tell me a little bit about Lorena, what she's looking for, right? And then I'm going to be able to use the I really want to know, not necessarily sympathetic, but really like trying to engage Lorena as quickly as I can in a conversation that makes her feel like she can open up to me, because Lorena doesn't know me from a stranger on the street. Bob's told her a few facts about me. Bob's also told me a little bit about Lorena, and then he's given me an opportunity to ask Lorena to share more, right? So I start my voice message with, hey, Lorena, my name's Kristen Adams. I live in West Des Moines, Iowa. I have 4 children, and I'm also a nurse practitioner, right? So 3 type questiony type answers where she's like, And I just really want to know, Bob shares a little bit about your health history. Is there anything that I'm missing, right? Does that kind of speak to Lorena in a way that she feels that she can open up? She's already agreed, yes, she knows who I am, right? To the 3 quick sentences that I shared back to her. It's just reverberating what Bob said about me. And then I get to use that tone of I really want to know, because I want to information gather from Lorena what she's looking for. So maybe Lorena had shared with Bob that she wanted to lose weight. But she's like, well, since you really want to know, and I've already been set up as the expert, right? I've already been set up as smart and fluent in all things Q. And I've been set up by Bob in my 3-way edification that I do care, right? Because you always want to say my friend or somebody who cares in that kind of conversation when you set it up. So now Lorena's heard from Bob that I care. She's heard from me that I care. And she opens up and shares. Maybe she also struggles with anxiety, or she struggles with sleep, or she feels like her biggest holdback from losing weight is emotional eating. Then now I have the opportunity to be the expert and to speak into that, right? Speak into that and specifically address her concerns. Again, I'm building trust, I'm building rapport, and then very quickly I can close it by leading with that sense of absolute certainty these products will help you, but don't worry, you can drop it down to sincerity. There is a 30-day money-back guarantee. What's holding you back? Are you ready to order, right? Sound good enough? Something like that at the end that makes them go, yep, right back to where you've already used your nonverbal communication to make them feel like they can, boom, right there on the spot, say yes. Quick sales, easy ways to close, different kinds of tones that you can use in your voice. You need to practice. Don't go all crazy and start, using these in weird ways, but practice them out loud to yourself and then listen to it back in your voice messenger after you've sent it to yourself or your mom or your spouse or whoever. Listen back and see if you can pick out those kind of tones. So that was quick and dirty in 19 minutes. Who wants to practice? I'm going to make it so people can unmute. Hold on. Have everybody unable. Allow participants to unmute themselves. Okay. Everybody can unmute themselves. Does anybody want to try one of them out loud and see how it sounds? Anybody want to be brave?
I will.
All right, Beth, which one are you going to try?
I don't know. Give me one. What should I
Why don't you try the quick questions? So 3 sentences that are absolute facts about yourself that you're going to kind of question as you finish saying them, to where we all think yes when you say them.
Okay. Hi, my name is Ann Mergens, and I live in Denver, Colorado with my 4 kids. I'm also a mental health therapist.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yay!
Yes.
Yes. That was great.
Good job, Beth. Who else
Thanks.
wants to try one? It's not that hard, is it?
I will.
Awesome. Go
You can't
ahead.
see me though, can you?
No,
You have to see me. Is it okay?
Go ahead. Why don't you try scarcity?
Scarcity.
Which is where you lower your voice to create urgency and the perception that it's a secret or elusive.
Okay. Let's see.
Talk about the
When we talk about the twist.
Yeah, or the twist. Something new and exciting that's coming out.
Okay. Hi, Misty. It's Dindy. I just found out we have this incredible product called Q Twist, and it's about to be released. Would you like to be put on my VIP list when I find out more information about it?
Perfect. I love that you brought your voice down like it's kind of a secret and took those pauses. That really builds suspense and it makes it sound exclusive, elusive, and kind of like, ooh, she's not offering this to everybody, right?
Yeah.
Good job. All right, let's do absolute certainty. I saw Tiffany on here. Tiffany, where you at? There you are.
I knew you were gonna call on me. I hit my.
Why don't you try something with absolute certainty?
What was your example again? Your close at the end.
So I like to use absolute certainty when I'm closing the presentations for the business part, that now is the best time for you to join Q Sciences and get started in your hemp business. Something like that.
Okay.
But you can use it with anything.
I know. That's what I was trying to think. I feel like I try to say a lot of things to them with absolute certainty. Oh, I know what I tell them. I'm talking to you. And I say, previously I was in another network marketing company. And I decided to try Q, and it was the best decision I've ever made. Like, I have zero regrets. Best thing for me, best thing for my future. You need to look more into this.
So I like that you need to look more into this. That's a great tag. You could actually probably do all 3 tonations of that. You can start off with absolute certainty you made the best decision ever. And then you can drop into like the whole, because you care, that whole sincerity, like you really need to look into this. And then what was your last finish line?
I don't know. Now I can't remember what I said. When I'm talking to prospects, that's why I need to practice. So I have more
you need
of
to write it down.
I know.
You've really got to look into this. So it's with absolute certainty, I'm really sincere here. And then it's the reasonable man is like the tonality that you're using. You've really got to do this, right? But you can just say, you've really got to do this. Am I right? Like, you want to make it like a question at the end to where they're like, yes.
I like it.
Good job, Tiff.
That's fun. Yay.
Anybody else want to give it a try? You guys are all doing so good. Kala?
Salome's on here. You should get her to do it.
Okay, we'll do Salome next. Kala, why don't you try the I really want to know tone, which is where you're trying to build engagement and to get somebody to open up so you can collect more information to be able to share products or business that's really important to them.
Okay.
What would be a sentence that you could use the I really want to know kind of tone to get them to open up?
Okay, I would say, hi, Tiffany. I'm so glad to connect with you. Kristen told me so much about you, but I was wondering if you could tell me a little bit more if she missed something that you would like to explain to me.
I love it.
Yeah.
Sounds totally trustworthy. I'd be like, yeah, actually, she totally forgot that I have a dog that needs hemp. Like, it would give me that opportunity. Basically, you're just giving them that blessing to be able to open up a little bit more, because you don't want to control the conversation enough to where they're not going Rambo and telling you about their grandma's 78th birthday last week, right? I mean, the whole idea is to close them, but you're giving them enough leeway to where they feel like they can really like cover all the things that they want you to help with. So you guys, this was such a great call. It's 25 minutes long. So I will stop recording.